Welcome back to the One Predator podcast.
Another episode of the One Predator podcast.
Yes. Tonight we're going to talk about calling sequences.
Sequences?
You know,
All right.
like when it starts here for us in October to kind of when it ends
In March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Early on, I don't really think there's a right and wrong way of doing things.
No, I think it's whatever piques that coyote's interest
Right.
enough to make them break that hedgerow, travel across two fields to get
Right.
to you.
You're talking about a living animal that has a personality, thoughts. It does.
Yeah.
So if he's hungry, you stimulate that. If he's lonely or she, you stimulate that. If he or she is looking for a fight or, it's sometimes, people try to break this down like there's a science to it. Like you got to use this sound,
Right.
this long, this time of year. Negative.
Coyotes are instinctual.
Yep.
They don't use logic like a person does.
No.
So you have to stimulate that instinct to get them to come to you.
Yeah, or respond.
Yes.
And then there's the whole talk of how if they respond to a prey distress, stick with that. If they respond to a vocal, stick with that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't 100% believe that either.
I mean, we mix it up when we're calling, so it's,
Right.
Whatever. You got to use what works at that time.
Right. So like this fall, which was super rare for us, you did a lot of calling.
Yep.
And we did a lot of howls and pup distress.
Yes. We didn't use much prey
Nope.
to start this year off at all.
Which is weird.
Yes.
Because we, always start the year off with a cottontail and a woodpecker.
Yeah.
Or
Try and trigger that hunger instinct.
right, or even field mice. Field mice works.
Mm-hmm.
But like this year, we did a lot of howls and pup distress, and it was very successful. First night out.
Yeah. We got two the opening night of the
That
season.
never happened. to
No,
us.
it hasn't.
That was huge
Yep. I mean, our first stand
of the first night.
of the first night of the season, we called one in.
Was there 4 of us?
There was 4 of us. Yep. Rusty got him.
Yeah,
No, the
the
old-
12. Damn.
The old 12 o'clock bang.
12 o'clock, boom. Well, apparently there was a dog there. It's gone now, but we couldn't even respond. But that's it's good. I mean, that was kind of tight where it was at that point that night in that field.
Yeah.
So he did the right thing.
Yeah. No, he comes in, you get a shot.
We
at it.
totally busted his balls like he didn't though.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like you didn't give anyone else a chance
Right.
to do it.
Jeez,
You get a
Rusty.
shot.
Man, you give me a treat. I think at one point I told him we do wear comms so we can communicate.
Yeah. No, I had enough time to swing around with my thermal to look at that direction to
And it was
see it
dead.
go down.
Yeah, he stoned it. That 22-250 is a tack driver.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that was Hal and Pup Distress.
Yep.
I called some with some rabbit a few times on the e-caller. It worked,
Mm-hmm.
but we, again, mainly a lot of Pup
Been
Distress
vocals.
and howls.
Yeah. A lot of
Like
coyote vocals.
fired, like an angry howl or a long howl or,
Yep.
interrogation. Some of them have bark, some of them don't. So how aggressive you're going to be. They get curious, You got to pique their curiosity.
Yes.
And if they don't answer or come, they might not be there, man.
Right.
Again, we've said this before. You're not talking about a dog in a kennel.
No, they're not a stationary animal. They roam. They cover their territory, however big that is.
Right.
We
figure out how big they serve? We just talked about this tonight. I bet you there's an average. I think we've seen something.
I want to say I looked it up at one point. Let me check back through my notes. There was a study in New York saying how big their territory was, like on average, but I can't.
I'll have to look into that.
Well, let's see.
I know they travel quite far.
So, this is in the Adirondacks, which is north of us. Which, I mean, I don't know if that's the same for down here, but in the Adirondacks, it says there's 2.5 pairs per 10 square miles. Which down here, I think the density is a lot more.
Yeah. Well,
should-
you're up there. The deer are even spread out more.
Oh yeah,
That's big. That's big boy hunting country.
yeah. I've been up there hunting bear, and was there 4 of us hunting? There was a couple of years that I went up there, and my great uncle's the only one who saw and shot one. Out of like 3 years of going up there, spending like almost a week there.
Yeah, well, they're just not there.
No, that's such a big territory to roam around.
They're
in.
just not there. Everybody gets hung up on this. Oh, you're doing something wrong. You're playing it too loud. You're playing it too long. I don't think so, man.
No.
I don't think so. I've had, and somebody, people out there are probably going to tell me I don't know what I'm talking about, and that's fine. But I've had, in my experience, shot at a coyote, and the call, I was so worked up about what was going on and busy, looking with the thermal, running the call and shooting. The call kept playing, and I called more coyotes out.
Yeah.
After the shot.
After the shot. We've had that happen quite a few times.
Right. So I don't think, do I think a rabbit can blare for 25, 30 minutes straight? No.
No.
The howls, you can do some pauses in. The rabbit, the prey distress, definitely do some pauses.
Yeah.
And, I always, they talk about it, like on the predator pages. Oh, play cotton ball for, 3.5 minutes. Pause for 4. No, dude, no. It's not. I wish people would just say, I turn this on, I hit pause.
Mm-hmm.
How long? I don't know, man. 30 seconds, 50.
I'm not looking at the
a
timer
minute?
on the control,
Right, I'm
on
not
the remote for the call.
Right, I don't
how long
do
did
that.
I play this for? It's,
No.
you
We
play-
have way too much going on.
Yeah, you're scanning. You
Yeah.
have a scanner in one hand. You have the remote for your call in the other hand. You got the rifle next to you. You're
Right.
getting ready to jump on that when something comes out.
Right.
You're not counting seconds as to how long
No.
you played each individual sound.
And Rick actually sent me some Lucky Duck, his sequences of his, because I, like last year or 2 years ago, I texted him and I was like, listen, I never was big on the prey or on the breeding season stuff. Just give me an idea. Give me a couple, give me a sequence, just so I can listen to it and say, and know that the coyote is doing this, then this, then this, and this. Like, draw me a map.
Yeah.
But he sent me a friggin' novel, which I totally appreciate and have used quite often, and it works. But I didn't even, that's what's great about him. It's like that's not what I was looking for, but he just delivered. So I don't think, and he even says in his write up that he sent me, this much for so many minutes, this much. And I don't, not to say that, I would never say that,
No, he's very knowledgeable. He's been doing
Well,
this.
you're right. Even him, like Rick, don't know what, he don't know what the hell he's talking about. No, I'd never say that. It's not what I'm saying. And it's not just because it's him. I would never say that to anybody that coyote hunts. That is, like, I've talked to plenty of guys that are like, oh, well, that doesn't work for me. I do this.
Right.
I don't jump out of my chair and be like, you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
No.
I'm not like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's great. What am I doing when I'm absorbing? I'm listening.
Yeah.
Because maybe I could take a piece of his sequence
Yes.
and mold it with mine and make mine even better.
Right.
So
There's no one true answer to be like, this is what you need to do to call in coyotes. You got to try a bunch of different things and keep at it.
Yeah, so I think you just got to try it, man. I mean, everybody tries to make a science out of this stuff, and I think there's some to it. Like, then you start guys talk about moon phases.
Yes.
Now, this is something I kind of follow. Not to say that I believe in it 100%. I just know what's happened for us and how it's worked.
Mm-hmm.
Some guys follow the weather patterns, barometric pressure, all this stuff.
The highs and the lows, storms blowing in.
Right.
All that stuff.
Oh, I got to hunt because there's a front coming and or it's super cold out and they're going to be out moving hungry. No. We've had them super cold out and we don't see anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then you pick a warm night and, oh my God, they're everywhere.
Right.
Because I think, they're dogs, okay? Think about they're not a house dog, but think about how your house dog acts.
Yeah.
Like, it's like mine. She's getting old, but you leave her outside in the winter, she's out there barking, man.
She's ready to come inside.
She wants to come in.
Yeah.
And she's a border collie. She's furry,
Nope.
she's not. When she was a pup, she was outside all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't ever want to be in here.
Yeah.
Now, she's 14, I believe now. And she doesn't, I think they can get lazy.
Yeah.
They can get, that's like you see coyote tracks on a roadway. Say there's a field going through a wooded area, and there's like a roadway in it. You'll see that, where I'll see coyote tracks in the road. They have this whole thing.
Yeah.
They're in the roadway walking in lines and like they're shitting right there.
Right. Where do we always find coyote crap?
Yeah.
On a road.
Yep. Past the path of least resistance.
Yeah.
All the time. So they are lazy. They are they don't want cold and windy, we never see anything. I think they just hold up, man, and just chill. Cuz they're like they might be laying in like a thicket somewhere or under a pine grove and hear our call, and I can just picture them like look over their shoulder at each other like, you going or am I going?
Mm-hmm.
Or, the hell with that. I ain't going nowhere.
Yeah.
So I think sequences, can work different times of the year for different people. Like I said, prior to this year, we would play prey. Couple different preys.
Like 80-90% of the time it was
so we would
prey.
start with a mouse or a woodpecker.
Yep. Something quiet. Just see if there's anything close by to get their attention.
Yeah, work our way to something more raspy or aggressive rabbit.
Yep.
And then we would finish it off with which sounds backwards, but a howl and pup distress.
Yeah.
This year, not so much.
Nope. It's
Not so
been
much.
mostly vocals. A little bit of stress thrown in the middle.
Right.
This year I've been doing more calling because I have my own call, which I think we've talked about before.
Thank God, I get tired of doing it all the time. I like doing it for you guys, but I get some days.
No, I get it. You just want.
But I don't mind doing it either. I
Yeah.
like to do it.
Yeah.
So
like I got the Ecotech Outlaw Plus, and I can play two sounds at the same time, and so it helps.
which the Lucky Duck can't do.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I guess the moral of the story is it's gonna work different everywhere.
Everywhere for everyone. I mean, even here, like we know other guys that hunt that use different sounds, and like they're not far from where we are hunting. It could be the same coyotes that we're hunting for all we know.
And there's times that they have success and we don't.
Right.
And there's times that we have success and they're like, they don't.
Right.
Or, I've heard stories of people playing stuff, calling a spot, they leave, and then the next guy shows up, calls a spot, and shoots them.
Right.
Tony actually told me about that the other day. It happened to him.
Really?
Yeah. So I think it's possible. But I think lately, so like now, all of a sudden, prey distress is hot, man.
we've been having some luck with it.
which is so weird.
Yeah.
So like now, because my caller does not play two sounds at once.
Mm-hmm.
So what I liked it, and I have tons of hand calls
Yes.
that I don't use anymore.
I have quite a few myself.
Right. So now I've been like kind of mixing it up a little bit. I'm like, so I'll start a standoff with a hand call. Mr. Heath Baker does this. Like I watched him. I kind of picked it up from him. Like he'll play his e-caller out, and he'll play like a howl on his e-caller, and then he'll play like a different social, sound, either a fight or something or whatever, and he'll bang on his hand call, and then switch back and forth. And I'm like, I don't know why I never tried that.
Yeah.
So I've tried it,
Yeah.
and it works.
It does. I can attest to that because last night we went out.
Yeah.
And it definitely worked for us then.
And I told you it's going to sound crazy, but well, if you hunt with a guy that's skittish, one of our team members, he scares quite easily, and
There's two of them.
there's two of them.
Yeah, you were just talking to one of them earlier.
Yeah,
on the phone tonight.
old Steve. I went out with him the other night, and he had no idea what I was going to do, and he's like waiting, for the caller to go off. And I start banging on a hand rabbit call, and he was like, he jumped like 10 feet, and I seen it in the dark. And he's like, man, you scared the shit out of me. And I'm like, so just calm down. This is what we're doing now. So I play like a hand call, and I'll throw a howl up, or I'll do a fight, and then bang on a rabbit call or a mouse even.
Yep.
So it's like they're fighting over it.
Yeah.
And it's totally working.
Yes. Was our second stand last night.
Second, yep.
Yeah. First stand didn't. Well, we had one talking on each side of us.
Yeah, we had two dogs, but they wouldn't come.
And we couldn't get them to come any closer.
Right.
One was pretty close, and the other one was a little further off.
Yeah.
We had one on each side of us, and we tried you tried everything you could to get them to break that hedgerow, come out in the field. Fights, stress,
aggressive howls.
Yep.
Pup
Aggressive.
distress, more fights. Breeding fight. I did a couple of distresses on the e-caller even. Scooby Snack and Jesus. I can't think of that one. It's like a mouse, but I can't think of the name of it right now. Anyway, they wanted no part of it.
Nope. So we get to our second stand, and for whatever reason, for me, this field produces.
Yep.
I've shot 4 coyotes out of this field in the last 2 years.
You're the only one that shot, other than Rusty, shot
Yep.
dogs out of that field.
Yeah, and he was the first one on opening night of this season that got one there.
And then we shot 2 foxes on the other side.
Yes.
And that's it over there.
Yep.
Well, no, because
Well, no, you got a fox a few years ago where the solar field is now.
right, and not even that is before. I think you were going with me a lot. Rusty and his brother-in-law would go with me, and Kevin shot one there too. I haven't hunted with them guys in a long time. They got families and stuff now, but yeah, he should. That was October. I got the picture on my phone. I saw it the other day. He was smoking a cigarette, standing there in a t-shirt, shot a coyote. He was smoking.
Yeah.
That was Kevin, though. He's a funny guy.
So last night we get to our second stand, this field where I've shot 4 coyotes out of it in the last 2 years, and we go out to set up Roy in the call, and they're howling.
They're serenading.
Yep, from where our guns were off to the left.
Yeah. So the east, like east, northeast, somewhere's around there.
So we get scooting back to the guns, and
Yeah, I was like, you hear that? And you see a fat guy running.
so we get back to our guns, and you start squealing on the hand call of the rabbit, and throwing in some howls a little bit.
Yep.
And
Long howls.
long howls. And I was on the left-hand side and like straight to my left down the hedgerow.
Right on. Yeah.
But it was a couple minutes,
Right.
if that.
11 minutes, that dog,
Was that to...
when he was shot. 11 minutes. So
my
it
video...
took him 4 to get up the tree line?
Yeah. The video that I had was almost 5 minutes long on my scope. Because as soon as I saw him, I hit record because I knew he was coming in. And you're blaring on that hand call. He's coming up this tree line. And he keeps peeking up and he's running at us. And there's a couple of rolls in the terrain. And he gets down behind the one. You're like, where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
Yeah.
I'm like, he's behind the hill. So you blast on the call
Well,
again.
I was calling, so I didn't get to watch him the whole time.
Yeah. So I was in my scope at this point.
Yeah.
I saw him on the thermal. I got right on the scope, hit record. And he gets down behind the first roll. And you're like, where'd he go? I go, he's behind the first, that furthest hill. And he comes up and over and you're blaring on the call. And you stop and he comes forward a little bit and down in the next valley, I can still see him. And
Then he bangs a right.
all of a sudden he bangs a right
Right into the hedgerow.
into the hedgerow. I go, he's gone. He's in the hedgerow. So we're standing there watching.
I hit
And
the e-caller.
you hit the rabbit distress on the e-call. And he was like, okay. here.
Shear belt?
Sure.
Shar belt? I don't know.
Okay. And as soon as you hit that call,
He was
he
on
was
it.
out of that
And
hedgerow.
again, and I
He was-
saw Heath Baker do that, and I was
Yep.
like, "This is genius."
Yep. So he comes darting right back out. You're calling off yardages as you can.
Well, he was getting so close to us, you can't use a hand call no more. He's looking right at
Right.
you,
You don't want him staring at
and
you.
it was bright.
yeah.
So
Because was it Luland or was it Paulette that said like their eyesight in the dark is mostly based on movement? I can't
Right.
remember which one it
Yeah,
was
I
at this
know.
point. Listen to other podcasts. So he hits the e-call that's out to our right at this point because we're looking my left.
well, because the wind was blowing right in his nose. Man.
Yes, like
I cannot believe he didn't smell. I was like, "We're gonna get busted."
Yeah, I don't know how he didn't.
because it was straight out of the northwest right to him.
Yeah, he was coming straight downwind from us.
I never expected them to come from that way. Again, I expected them to come from where they always come from in that field
That
where you
far
shot the other
corner
two.
behind that house.
And if they had come from that side, you got plenty of time before they
it's
wind
like
you.
700-800 yards to that far corner.
Right. This son of a bitch, he was right. He was trying to get in our pocket.
Yep. So
The video is so awesome watching him come in. That's my favorite part.
So he comes running. He comes out of the hedgerow once you hit the e-call, and I'm watching. I'm trying to get my scope because it's a manual focus with the C50, and I'm trying to get it focused. And you go, "Are you gonna shoot?" Bang!
Yeah. Like you got my, and I would have had to shoot past him, which I could have. I was clear enough to do so.
Yeah, because I had you
But move up.
move out a little bit to my.
Right, and
Out
I
of the
didn't
field a little
really
bit
want
further.
to do that because it was so bright and get me away from the tree line. Because I was like hanging out like a sore.
Yeah, but
And
from the direction that they were howling when we were setting the call up, that was the logical thing to do, was to step out a little bit from behind me so that if a double came out, we both had a clear shot.
you almost got robbed last night. It came really close. I'm a good friend.
Yeah. So what did you say? It was like 110 yards when I pulled
109 yards.
109 yards.
And I'm like, "Are you? He's at 109. Smoke him."
Yep.
And I didn't get the rest of smoke out. And wabamo. And I'm watching through my scope, and he was trotting.
Yeah, he was still. I should have
We should have stopped him.
whistled or barked or something
were
at him
excited.
to get him to check up to get,
Right.
the good shot. I'm not saying it was a bad shot,
No.
but so I hit him and he started doing his tornado of death.
Oh my God, he looked like the Tasmanian devil. I've never seen a dog spin so fast in my life.
He was spinning quite fast, and I hit him again. And he went down.
Right, I shot him, missed him while he was spinning, but it was like trying to literally hit a bottle top. I mean, he was spinning so fast.
Yeah,
You couldn't time it. I was trying to time it when he spun around to fire, so it would, keep my gun in one spot. Don't sit there and try to chase him around in a circle. And I missed him.
Yep. So
But-
the second shot dropped him.
You hit him in the back of the neck, high in the back of the neck. That's where all that blood. He bled.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like a stuck pig.
Yeah, he was that put him down. He was
Right.
good to go.
The guys, we put it in the group text, and my cousin was like, "Did you hit it with the truck?" And I'm like, "No, man. He tried to run away, and
Yeah,
he didn't get nowhere."
No. We're
So
not-
when you shot, that went right under him. It was when he was at the peak of his trot. It went right under him, hit his back leg, and it looked like somebody had just got T-boned at an intersection.
yeah, it was.
He was
it was
straight. He
messy.
was just straight spinning,
Yep.
like 100 miles an hour. But we got him.
Well, recovered him, which is the most important part.
Yep.
And
Yep.
good looking coyote.
Yep.
Probably high 30s. We didn't weigh him.
No, there's no point at this point.
No.
They're all just gonna die now until the end of March.
Yep. And what is it? March 1st now. So
Yeah,
we got 30 days left. of the
30
season.
days left, and then we go on vacation for the rest of the.
Yeah, for 6 months. 6-month hiatus for coyote hunting.
That's when our wives get to go out and have fun.
Yeah. The summertime. We
I
get
tell
the
her
winter.
every year, I'm like, honey, do it now. You want to go out with your girlfriends one night on the weekend? You know, I'll take you, I'll drop you off, whatever. I want I'll stay home with the kids. I don't care.
Yeah.
Do it now because as soon as October 1st is here,
Yes.
I don't want to say that I don't let her out.
No.
It ain't
'Cause
like that. It's just
no, it's not like
we
that
have
at
a
all.
very good understanding
Mhm.
that I got business to do from October 1st.
Yeah, once October 1st hits, my wife is understanding that Thursdays and Fridays, those are my rest days, that I'll be out. And since we started doing the podcast, it's a little earlier because I used to wait until like 10 o'clock or so, but we try to get here a little earlier and get an episode recorded and share some stories with you guys here.
Oh, and by the way, last night I was a victim.
Or a victim
I was a victim.
of what?
I got attacked.
Oh, yes.
The one thing I will tell you about hand calls in the night. Be aware of your airspace.
Yes.
This dog's running in, and I think he was at 200 yards at this point, and I feel it was like somebody hit me with a fan. I feel this breath of air, just a solid wave of air, and I knew in my head, I'm like, I know what that is.
So you're behind me and off to my right.
Right.
And
Hitting the call.
you're hitting the call, and I hear, "Get the fuck out of here!"
Yeah,
I'm like,
and I'm
"What
like-
is he talking about?"
I noticed you kind of glanced over. So that was the first time he came down on me. That's when I felt the wind.
Yeah.
And I got attacked by an owl the size of a pterodactyl. I'm going to tell you right now, he was right from the Jurassic Park island. No bullshit. Because when I looked up and saw a 4-foot wingspan,
Yeah.
I mean, he was literally 10 inches off my head when I saw him.
Yeah.
All 3 times.
And at one point, he flew in front of my scope.
Yeah, he's in the video. He's in mine too.
Because I hear you get the fuck out of here. I'm like, what the hell is he talking about? And then as I'm watching this coyote come running in, it flashes in front of my scope. I go, oh, well, okay, now I know what he's talking about.
Right.
There's an owl.
3 times that big old bastard tried to come down on my head. And I'm sitting there waving at it. No, I'm trying to be quiet. There's a dog running in. I'm getting attacked by a pterodactyl. And this happened before with Rusty at that same place. Not the same field, but the same place.
Yep.
Same spot. And let me just tell you, man, that is like, you're out there in the dark.
Yes.
You try to pay attention to every sound, every kind of movement, especially with our headphones.
Yeah.
So our comms,
Well, they
amplify.
amplify everything.
So just imagine, you ever listen to a goose fly over?
Yeah, so you hear that. Shh, shh, shh.
You hear that sound from
Yes.
the wind going through their feathers. Now put a walker on your head that you can hear coyotes howling 5-10 miles away.
Yep.
And put a 4-foot wingspan bird over top of your head with talons and shit.
Oh, yeah.
And it is the worst goddamn feeling ever to look up.
Yeah.
It's just an owl.
Well, you
but
lost a decoy to
I
an
lost
owl
the decoy 2 times.
twice.
Yep.
So-
One time ripped it right out of the lucky duck. Second time was the alpha dog with my
This is like a remote decoy that you plug into
spiked into the ground.
Yep.
And that's a big bat. And he pulled it
thing's
out of the
heavy.
ground, carried it off, and broke it.
Yeah.
Dropped it.
I remember coming over the next week and soldering it back together because one of the wires broke off.
Fucking owls.
That thing was never the same.
I'm gonna tell you right now, if they have an owl season, I'm your man.
we can get them to come in.
I can get you every owl in your neighborhood.
I would say, 90% of the time we use distress calls.
Yeah, but on the e-caller, it's different.
We can find an owl.
Yeah.
There's one on the edge of the field, or there's that one skinny field we hunt.
Yeah.
And
I was out with Rusty.
they land in the trees behind us,
Yep.
right over your head.
Oh, the screech owls, that ones that make that terrible noise.
Oh my! Scared the shit out of me that one night
my
up here,
God,
up the
that's
road.
So funny.
We're standing right on the edge of. Well, we always stand on the edge of the woods.
Yeah, and they
wherever
screech.
This thing couldn't have been 10 feet away from me, and then it lets out this screech. I jumped, and as long as we've been doing this, like I'm pretty numb to things that go bump in the night. I would say
Yeah.
when we're out.
There's
hunting.
nothing out there going to get you.
Right. And this thing lets off like 10 feet behind us, and I jumped and turned around.
Yeah.
I definitely jumped.
I usually hear them. I heard one hit a guardrail one night. I was hunting a spot,
Yeah, you told me about this one.
and I'm calling, and it flew from the other side, and it mounted itself to a guardrail. You know, that's where he posted up. When that owl's claws or talons, whatever the fuck you want to call them,
Talons, yeah.
hit that metal. Now it's late. Okay, that guardrail goes for a couple miles on the road.
Yeah.
Did you ever knock on a guardrail? It makes that
You
pew
just
sound
hear it travel down.
and it
yep.
travel. Sounds like ice on a lake.
Yeah.
This damn owl hit that friggin' thing and it just pew, and I just heard it go all the way down the road. And I'm alone, and I'm like, oh shit, I know what that is. And then one other time, oh my God, this happened so many times. Oh, my phone's going off. Not the camera.
Not the camera. Okay.
I had one. It happened with Steve.
yeah.
One of the first times we went out with one of his spots, and I heard it come into the trees, like fly off. And when these big ass owls get into a branch, they make some noise.
Yeah.
Okay, so I heard it. I knew he was there, and this thing screeched. Now, you know, Steve's law enforcement, and we all carry pistols. And that thing screeched, and his pistol came out, and he was on target. If he had his taser on him that night, he'd had his taser in his hand also. And he goes, "What the hell is that?" And I'm laughing,
Yeah.
because I know it's a screech owl. And I said, "It's just a screech owl. Put your sidearm away. You're okay." You know. And but last night I got attacked. And then
Yeah, I think that's the closest, like, face-to-face you've ever been with one.
dude, I felt it was like somebody holding a fan over my head and it was blowing down my neck.
Yeah. I like I said, I wasn't sure what was going on behind
You
me.
just heard me yelling at something.
Yeah.
Get out of here. I was like, get the hell out of here.
Like, wait a minute. Like, we want this coyote to come
Right.
in. What are you talking about?
Right. Right. Like, why are you telling you to leave?
And then I saw it flash in front of my scope.
I showed my wife the video tonight, and she's like, because I was telling Josh about it. She loves owls. Her mom collects them. And they've never really seen one in the wild. We see them all the fucking time.
All the time.
and
It's
I'm like,
so
just come
crazy.
coyote hunting.
Yeah,
I was
right.
like, last night I got attacked.
Yeah.
Now I stopped at her work on the way home, and I just told her about it tonight. And she was like, "You really almost?" I said, "Yeah, I came close."
You almost lost an eye.
I bet you they would cut you up pretty good.
I mean, those talons are sharp.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah. If it actually, like,
Landed on my head.
wanted you, yeah, it'd mess you up.
Oh my God, I can feel the breeze. I just look up, so it's kind of bright. You know, I look up and you just see this wingspan over
Yeah.
your head.
Well, it was it was between half and 3/4 moon. It was
Yeah.
pretty. It was pretty bright last night. Not really cloudy. Like, we had a few clouds roll through, but it was pretty bright.
A little bit of wind, not much.
No, it was shifty.
Yeah,
It's
it was
very
all
sh-
over.
it is
So
very
okay,
shifty.
there's a whole nother thing. You know, last night we're like, oh, we're going here, here, and here because the wind's good for this.
Yep.
We get there, wind's totally different fucking direction.
Yeah. like
So you got to either you're going to move or you're going to adapt.
Mm-hmm.
So stand in a different spot, get a different angle,
Yeah.
hope for the best.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, the first, second, well, all three stands that we did last night, the wind. They're like, oh, it's out of the like the west northwest or northwest, whatever it is, and like the app, the apps that we're using are saying 8 miles an hour.
There was a flag there; it wasn't even wiggling.
No, and like there was a light breeze, and you could feel it going from like left to right for a few minutes, and then it would switch and come back the other way, and then it's hitting you in the back, and then it's hitting you in the face. It was all over the place.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean that, and then the owl. Man,
We made it work though.
That traumatized me forever. Remember I said, I was like, man, if I had a GoPro on my head,
Yeah.
that would have made some fantastic footage. So if you guys use hand calls,
Yes.
be careful.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I've heard of people using hand calls in daytime. Bobcats will jump them from around a tree,
Oof.
like turkey calls and stuff. Be careful. Be aware.
Oh, not even my buddy was hunting deer this past deer season, rifle season, and he's sitting on the ground in front of a tree. He's just, just hanging out, and he says this bobcat comes in. It's about 20 feet from him or so.
I got video of it.
Yes, yeah, he got a video of it. And bobcat just wanders up about 20 foot from him, sits down, and they're staring at each other for a couple minutes, and this bobcat just lays down. Starts to take a nap. He's like, okay. And he's sitting there for a little bit, and he goes to get up and walk away, and this bobcat jumps up and is watching him, and he goes to move, and this thing charges him. It probably got within 2-3 feet of him before it turned and ran the other direction. And watching the video, you're like,
Open fire. Bobcats can be nasty.
yeah, I mean it's
Because I dealt with barn cats at the
sharp
farm.
claws, man.
They will mess you up, bro.
Oh, I don't doubt it. Not one bit.
They'll jump on your damn face. Nope. Dead. Open fire. It's either going to be me or him.
Yeah.
And you're sure as hell ain't going to be me.
Mm-hmm.
Little owl, bobcat, yeah. Oh, man. So be careful with the hand calls. It's happened to me so many fucking times.
We had a fox jump over your head one night.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, behind the farm.
Yeah.
With the Tony Stewart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got up against a tipped out tree under the stump, and it was like a creek bed. I put the call up in a tree, and I hear the thing coming, like the pitter patter.
Yep.
And then I'm like trying to look around the tree, and then all of a sudden this red flash goes right over my fucking head. That was like one of my early nights, back when I started. And I had my zoom turned all the way up on my stupid ass scope. So it stops, looks up at the caller, and I try to shoot it, and when I look in the scope, it's just red. And I'm like, son of a bitch, what is going on? And I didn't even realize that I had the power turned all the way up.
Yep.
Ever since then, when I went out during the day, I had a little 9mm carbine with a red dot on it. That's all you need.
Yeah.
You're not shooting that far in the woods.
No.
Or a shotgun.
Yep.
That's a good idea for that. But anyway, yeah, I got attacked. That was fun. I just can't stop thinking about it. It was crazy. But yeah, so we didn't get a double last night. The other one barked at us. Well, we heard another coyote there too, but that one never showed.
Yeah, that was probably, I couldn't even tell you how far off, but we definitely, after dropping that one that I got, there was another one howling and barking. We tried everything we could to get it to come in. It wouldn't
No dice, man.
Wouldn't cross the road.
Probably a female. Because what we got was a male.
Yeah, shot the male. It could have been a pair out searching for
Dude,
food.
we did one more spot after that. Didn't see nothing.
Nope. Oh, didn't even hear anything over there.
No.
That was a
Yeah,
field.
don't be afraid to serenade too. Like I always laughed at these guys that say, "Oh, I locate first before I go and do a stand." That's not a terrible fucking idea.
Yeah.
Okay? Because how many times have you walked a half a mile in the woods not seeing anything? And maybe, just maybe, if you throw a serenade up, you got a 50% chance. They're either going to answer or they're not.
Right.
And if they do, it's going to make your positioning and your thought process way fucking easier.
Mm-hmm.
and I like doing it now.
Yeah.
Roll up, take a diaphragm call, poop, pop it in your mouth, hit a couple, see if you can get something to respond.
Yeah.
Because we walked in, set the call up, those dogs were talking. I don't know who they were talking to. They must have been talking to somebody, but we got one to come out, and he came home with us.
Yes.
Shot to shit.
Did the fur girl say anything about
I
No.
texted her and said, left you a coyote.
Might have a couple extra holes in him.
Oh, man.
It was a little messy.
Well, I watched, it's because you hit it in the neck is what happened. But I watched that video when I got home of my gun, you shooting it. And it was literally right when he frolicked.
Yeah.
And that
it was,
bullet went right under his brisket. And it's actually kind of lucky. I mean, that's where you were aiming, but his positioning changed. Like, if you didn't hit that back leg to slow his ass down.
Yeah, he would have been gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I did get lucky.
But he wouldn't stop. He was. I couldn't get him to circle. He just wanted to stay along that. That's why I turned e-caller on, try to get him away.
Yeah.
Because I'm blowing on hand call. He'd been right in our lap.
Yeah, I should have done something to get him to check up to get a better shot.
He was just excited. It's
Yeah,
fine.
I know.
Hey, he's dead.
Yes.
You know?
I know the next episode that you guys hear in sequence will be the episode with Rusty. If you go back and think about that one, I talked about the post-shot jitters.
Yes.
I had the pre-shot jitters on this one because it was so long.
Josh had coyote fever. Buck
So,
fever.
Well, it
coyote
was the
fever.
first one I shot in a month.
Yeah.
And it took so long
It's
for
all-
him to cover that 400 yards.
Patience.
Yes.
You could have dumped him, though.
I could have.
But he was coming, so I mean, the hell with
there
it.
was no reason to.
Why we got to
chance
walk
it.
that far?
Yeah.
I
No.
just, he was frolicking. That was the only downfall. But why we got to walk that? I mean, it.
I should have done something to get him to check up, either whistle at him.
But that
or-
again, that's a prime example of how you 243 guys cheat. You hit him in the back. He still fell over. If us true
Oh,
Marks-
223 is the true marksman.
true coyote marksmen,
caliber.
if we hit him in the back leg, that son of a bitch going to live till next year.
Yeah, he's still. Because I've seen you hit with a 223 and it started doing donuts,
And then I
then
kept hitting.
Well, no. Well, the
Was
one
that
I'm
the
thinking
AR
of,
days?
down the first stand we did last night.
Yeah,
That the first
Yeah.
time we called a double there.
yeah, Bills.
Yep. The female came charging out toward
Yeah,
the
she was
call,
spinning.
spinning,
And then you shot her in the mouth.
and then I shot her in the mouth and dropped her. But yeah,
AR
we were
days.
both 223s then,
Yep.
and you hit her, and she was still doing donuts. So it's not just a caliber thing; it's a shot placement thing. Because if I had a better shot placement,
I mean, if he wasn't in the downside of his hop, you would have been golden.
yes,
I mean, that's how much time. That's how fine of a line we're talking here.
yeah,
I didn't even look. We probably split the hairs underneath him. That bullet went right under his brisket and hit him because he was on the up of his frolic. If you think about it, then because his back leg would have been down.
yeah, because his gut was exposed.
Right. If
And
you guys seen what this thing did, it was literally like somebody T-boned a Prius in a red light. His back end goes out, legs went straight out.
Yep.
And he started just spinning. I never seen one spin so fast. Holy shit.
Yeah, it was quite quick. And then I took another shot and hit him and dropped him.
Yep. Stoned him. But which is good because I was going to keep shooting.
Yeah. It was a good night. It was the first one I got since the tournament.
You're at your number you were at last year.
Yep. I'm tied for last year with 6. It's pretty good for me.
Yeah.
My limited time hunting each season,
Yeah, I hunt more than you do. That's,
Well, I said that to my wife last week because it was Thursday night. I think you were like, "Yeah, I'm just going to stay home tonight. I'm tired. You had a long day, whatever."
Yep.
And like, I don't blame you for that. Like, I know what that's like.
I'm tired today.
I work nights, man. I know what it's like to be tired. And the next day, evening, when my wife got home from work, I was like, you know what? I never think about I have spots that I can go hunt by myself.
Yeah, you can go. I've told you before, you don't like to go by yourself.
Well, it's not that I don't like to. I just don't think about it.
I'll have to remind you.
Yeah. Next time you're like, no.
You should absolutely go. I love going alone. Sometimes I think if you try going alone, you're gonna see. Sometimes it's just better to be yourself, man, and just
try different things on your own.
right.
See what'll work.
Because
see
when I
something
go out with
different
you
will work.
guys, I mean, not to toot my own horn or anything. I go out to call coyotes for you guys to shoot. Like I have a lot of opportunity to hunt. I want everybody to shoot dogs.
Yeah.
I think that's the fun in it.
That
Do I want to shoot more dogs than you guys? Absolutely, I do. Absolutely, that's my competitive side.
You want that trophy.
I want that. So yeah, yeah, I want that
So-
trophy.
So you started a tradition last year.
It was epic.
Yes.
I saw it on Amazon. I was like, son of a bitch, I gotta have it.
So what we started last year, while Carl started, no one else knew about this. He kept it a secret right up until the end. We had
a party.
We had a party with the hunting group. We all got together on one night, everyone together at the same
Pizza
time.
and cocktails.
Pizza, cocktails.
Long night.
The Blackstone was fired up. The smoker was fired up.
Yeah.
There was so much food.
Yeah, Steve's
It was
dad.
delicious.
Yep.
Carl shows up and he goes, all right. He goes, who got the most coyotes? And I go, well, I had 6. And Steve goes, well, I had 6 too. He goes, all right. Josh, how many did you miss? And I go, like 6 or 7.
Oh,
He goes,
yeah, I think it
Steve,
was-
how many did you miss? He's like, like 13.
Yeah,
And-
that's what did the tiebreaker.
That was the tiebreaker, and I got the trophy.
Right.
No idea that one, we were getting one. So we had the tiebreaker, and Carl busts out this trophy and a couple stickers. And, so I won the first trophy for the most coyotes of the season. And we were talking about it a couple months ago, and I decided that it'll be my responsibility this year to get the
Yes.
trophy because I won the trophy last year,
Right.
so I'll buy it for
We have
whoever gets the-
bylaws now.
Yeah, whoever gets the most for this year. I've found a couple. I
can't wait to see him.
got a couple in mind.
I hope I win it.
Let's see what happens here at the end of the season.
It was fun. It was
Yeah.
a fun little party.
Yes, it was.
I just thought, and we waited too.
Yeah, the weather was garbage.
And Steve's house is set up because he doesn't have any kids to ruin his stuff like we do. So,
No, they don't ruin it. It's just, I know what you mean though.
yeah. He don't have any kids.
No.
So, well, I guess it's time.
Call an end to this one.
Yeah, I think we should go try and it's super windy, but I'll try, I guess.
All right, we'll go make a few stands, see what we can do.
Yep. And
Pull that out of the woods.
what are we going to talk about? We don't even know what we're going to talk about next time.
Oh,
We're going to
well-
try and get a guest here.
Yes,
We got some ideas.
we're due
different
for
guests.
a guest, I think, and it'll be interesting. We'll keep it interesting for you guys.
It always is interesting.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't get eaten by an owl. Fucking owls.
So at the time of recording, this is March 1st of 24.
Yep.
I just want to say thank you to
Oh,
everyone,
yeah.
everyone that has listened. We're sitting at 104 downloads in our first month. Just blows my mind that that many people want to sit and listen to us babble on about coyote hunting.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's a little weird.
Right.
But we really do appreciate it. We have a lot of fun doing this for you guys. Hopefully you get something out of it, a couple laughs or, some tips on how to do different setups or whatever.
Yeah. The funny thing, it's like we're the weirdos that sit around and listen to like podcasts.
Right. And now
And
we're
then
doing
you
it.
suggested it, and I'm like, yeah, that could be fun. I mean, I
let's do that.
guess. I don't know.
I can speak for myself. I'm enjoying doing this. It's a lot of fun. Even doing the editing and, having to go back and listen to myself talk for an hour at a time. It's,
Right.
It's always weird hearing your own voice, but, I'm having a lot of fun. I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, it's a good time.
It's a good time. But
I'll make you famous.
yeah, guy at work's like, oh, are you on YouTube? And at the time we weren't on YouTube
Right.
yet. And now we are. And he's like, oh, you're going to be famous. You're going to be YouTube famous. No, don't forget us when you're, a big star or whatever. It's like, well, that's not what we're after. We're just we're having a good time.
Yeah, spreading the word.
Yeah. As always, we're on Facebook under One Predator.
Yep.
TikTok and Instagram at One Predator Hunts.
Yeah, we got to get some footage to our
our social media
video
director.
guy. Yeah, social media director, aka
Rusty. I know I'm sure you guys know this at this point, but you can find the podcast on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and there's a fourth one I can't think of at the moment.
Google.
Google's, as of April 2nd, Google podcasts are all going to YouTube.
Oh.
Amazon, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. So Amazon was the one I forgot.
Yep.
But thanks for joining us.
Yeah, come back. Thanks for listening to the One Predator podcast, and we'll catch you on the next one.